everybody, this is Eric with American Business Systems. I want to welcome you today to today's webinar. I am looking forward to doing this for you today, and I am going to just kind of close down my video here just real quickly. But as folks that you are tuning in today, you're going to see that we are going to be going over today, are you qualified to start a business in healthcare? And today, hopefully, you're going to find out what you're going to need to be doing to make sure that you're qualified. We've had so many people ask us and try to qualify American Business Systems for themselves. And today, we're going to just see and help you to identify if this is the right business move for you. So we look forward to going through this next hour here on doing this webinar, Are You Qualified to Start Your Own Business in the Healthcare Industry? So folks, as you get ready and as we kind of start flipping through this afternoon, I want you to know that you can talk with me via the question box area today, and love for you to be able to do that. So I'm going to move on over, and for those that have never met me before, my name's Eric Ogea with American Business Systems. I'm here as the Director of Research and Development, but also work with many of you that might be on the call this afternoon. So I welcome every one of you, whether I'm working with you personally or not. I am working with you to some degree on the webinar today. So thank you for joining me this afternoon. I am going to be kind of flying solo today because Mr. Phillips is out, and I appreciate that he gives me the opportunity to do this for you. So one of the things, again, I want to kind of direct you to is making sure that you can see where the question box area is. So one of the things I'm going to ask you to do there in the question box area is simply type in your city and your state right there. I'll be able to see that in the question box area, and this is going to help me to see that I'm being heard kind of both ways. So I see some folks here. Kent, it's good to see you again, sir, from Florida. Shirley, you're from Arlington, Texas. Good to have you there. Monica, good to see you. I appreciate you being there from Atlanta, Georgia. And Marina, you were here from California. We got Jay from Louisville. Good to see you, sir. Carter is from Birmingham, Alabama, I believe, and Haley, got you there from Connecticut, and we've got Maxine from looks like Los Angeles, California. So we've got folks from all over the country. There's Tanya, good to see you. Absolutely, it's good to see everybody here this afternoon. So again, we're going to have a great time this afternoon, and feel free, really feel free to put in your questions. I'm going to do my best, since I'm kind of flying solo today again, to see what questions are coming in. So if I don't happen to get your question and you really want that question asked, maybe you might have to put it in there twice, because I'm going to be watching that and going through the slides all at the same time. So if there's something you really want me to get to, I'd be able to do that. Catrice, I see you from Detroit. Jorge, I see you there from Florida, so thank you there. As you're doing your due diligence, we want you to be able to know that you can go to the Better Business Bureau here at Fort Worth and check us out. I'll actually be showing a little screen of that a little bit later on and explaining a few things on there, but we have an A+ rating there with the Better Business Bureau. And if you haven't had time yet to go check out all the areas of our website, please do that. You can see all about us, and you can find out there where it talks about the income potential. You can check on that, the news, the FAQs. Folks, this is packed full of information there for you to go through. One of the things that you're going to want to go through is our virtual brochure. So please check that out. There you're going to learn what all you get for the $26,990 investment. Please go through that, because again, those are some of the things that we're really going to chitty chat about this afternoon on some of your due diligence of what you need to be doing as you're going through and making sure that you're qualified to and qualifying yourself. That's the main part of it, that you're qualifying yourself. Folks, what you're going to learn and what you're going to get here are a few things. We have 9 different services here with American Business Systems, everything from the billing side of it to document management to so many other different things. But one of the things that we highlight, the biggest part of it is that when you go through our live training workshop, you're going to, at the end of that training workshop, become certified as a certified medical revenue manager, as you can see right here. So please, if you want to find out more about that, or the organization that we're a part of that does that, please feel free to call and talk with us here at American Business Systems. Folks, for the last 24 years, We've been helping folks from coast to coast here at American Business Systems. And all of these people that you see here have been around with ABS for at least 15 to 20 years with some of them, and then some have been with us just for a few short years. So this is a great opportunity for you to be a part of, and those folks are available for you to talk with. And we're going to, again, share a little bit about that as well today. Our billing platform is a web-based system. Now, folks, when you're doing your due diligence out there, one of the things you're going to really need to be paying attention about is what kind of platform would you be using to do the medical billing. There's only two types that are out there, either server-based or it's going to be web-based. Web-based is where the future has been going for the last few years. Most of the big companies out there that actually have a billing system are already web-based. We've been web-based for several years, but there's a slight advantage to ours than even the other web-based systems. The advantage is that we own our own clearinghouse. Folks, if you haven't gotten an opportunity to have this demoed for you so that you can see the advantage of that, please, again, contact the person that asked you to be here at the webinar. They'll be happy to help you through that whole scenario there. So we'd love be able to do that for you. Even further in your due diligence, again, before you even make the decision, before you sign up to come to training, we'd love for you to come by and visit us at our office. We are conveniently located here in Fort Worth. We're just minutes away from the Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. So if you're out of town and you want to just fly in, feel free to be able to do that. I know that a few folks that are on the call with me today have taken advantage of doing that. Some are local, some have actually flown in. So we'd love to have you come by and visit with us. We'd just like that opportunity. And folks, again, we know that the $26,990 investment, it can be, it's there enough for you to take the advantage of taking whatever time you need to be able to come check us out. Now, we had a little bit of experience issue with our handout. Now, I've got someone back behind me trying to get this out as a handout. However, if we don't get that out there, for everybody that's on the website today or on the webinar today, we already got you logged in, so we will make sure that you get a copy of this via email. So don't worry about it if you don't see it in the handouts area. That's not that big of a deal. Folks, we're getting ready. We're ready now to start the webinar this afternoon. And again, let me remind you that this webinar and every webinar that we do is for you. It's your opportunity to communicate with us directly here at ABS in a live setting as we're doing here. So we'd love for you, again, I'm going to be doing my best to kind of monitor the questions here as we go through this. So again, we want to make sure that you answer the question. It's not a matter whether ABS qualifies you or quantifies you to be in this particular business. That's your business, and we want you to know whether you feel qualified yourself to actually start a business in the healthcare industry. We already know that the healthcare industry is big. It is one of the largest parts of the America's GDP. So we know that the industry in and of itself is a very good industry. American Business Systems has been taking advantage of this for over 25 years, and I say over 25 years because Patrick and Linda Phillips actually started this before American Business Systems ever came into existence as a business opportunity, as we're seeing now. So you could probably say a good 30 years that this has been around. Obviously, it had its evolution as it was started off doing medical billing from just typing it out on a typewriter all the way to where we are today as a web-based system. So kick back, relax, type in some questions for me, and let's see what we can do as we get started here. So as we get started here, one of the questions that you certainly need to be asking yourself is this question: are you doing your due diligence? Now, you're going to see this slide come in and out through today's presentation, because this is one of the ways in which you know that you're qualifying yourself. Because folks, if you're not personally doing your own due diligence, then you might need to consider possibly doing something else. So as we get started here, one of the first things we want to have you do as your due diligence, and as you kind of going through this, what is due diligence in and of itself? Well, it's an examination. It's an examination of the business that you're looking into. First of all, do you even feel like this is something that you want to do? Obviously, it's a difference between whether, as you've probably heard Patrick say this, working with a group of teenagers at a possible franchise sandwich shop. Some of you might know what that is. Or if you want to be in the business of medical billing and working with doctors. Now, I did have someone ask me today, Eric, is this business about medical billings? Will I have to be dealing directly with the patients every single day and asking them for their money? It's a little bit better than that, because you're going to be on what I call the good side of collections. And the good side of collections is you're working with the doctors immediately. So if you got the doctors are seeing patients today, then they're creating a form in which that needs to be inputted into a system to allow that claim to go from today to the insurance company. So that's why we say it's on the front end of it. It's not necessarily on the back end of it. Now, obviously, there are some times whenever you have to do some of the aging reports, but that's just part of doing accounting for basically for anybody. But this is the front part of it, where you're actually helping that doctor get paid on a regular basis. So that's what this whole business is about. And so as you're doing your examination, see if this is the business that you think you really want to do. Then you got to do your evaluation. And when we're talking about evaluation, we're talking about if the money that I'm putting into this business, how quickly can I get that money back to myself? Folks, if any of you that are entrepreneurs and you've been in business for any length of time, you know that the most quickest way to get an ROI on your money is anywhere from 2 to 5 years. Now, the exciting thing about it is that next Wednesday, I'll be doing a webinar on your ROI and how quickly you can get your ROI back into your pocket. And that all can be done with just one client. So you're going to want to check that out next week. I will have a link here in just a moment that you can register right after this webinar today and get that done already. So that's when we're talking about the evaluation. Obviously, now the investment. You got to make sure that this is the right investment for you. Obviously, got to know what the investment is. Are you investing in ABS or are you investing in yourself? That's part of your due diligence. One of the things we want you to know is that really you're investing in yourself and you're asking ABS to come alongside you, and that's what you're going to find out a little bit today. But our investment here is $26,990. That 26, call it 27,000, is all you'll pay. There are no franchise fees. There are no royalty fees that you're going to have with ABS here. And again, if you want to know more about that and continue to keep doing your due diligence, again, get with the individual that's been working with you here at ABS, and we'll kind of go through those numbers there so that you'll know exactly what all that is about. Then again, the value of what you're expecting to be able to get out of this. Now, again, you're going to see a little chart here in just a little bit where we're going to be talking about the value of what you're going to be getting here, because you want to know what kind of money can you be making as you keep going on. Obviously, the more doctors you sign up, the more money you're going to make. And again, I'm going to show you just a brief little scale of how you can identify what that is, and then from there, it's just basic duplication. So you're just going to duplicate that all. And then finally, your potential of what you're going to be able to do with this business. Do you want to scale it and just keep it to where it's 3 or 4 doctors? Maybe even 1 or 2 doctors. It's really up to you. Or there are some folks that I know that are going to want to build this business to where it's bigger than just that. It may be you want to go out there and get 10, 15, 20, 50 doctors. You can do that. There are some of our licensees that are available that you can talk with that have gone up over those numbers there. Obviously, they're not just doing the billing themselves. Probably they're not doing any billing at all at this point. All they're doing is maintaining their business and continue to keep marketing out there in the field, and then just increasing whatever they're doing already. So that's some of this part of this whole due diligence profile that you need to be doing, again, to kind of qualify yourself as you need to get started in this business. So again, I hope that you're taking notes here. And again, If not, we will provide this slideshow in a PDF for you. We'll email that out to you as we move forward. So one of the first things that you need to be doing as doing your due diligence is asking about the company's history. Now, I've already mentioned a little bit about American Business Systems, and that we've been around for 24 years. And yes, come this January, we are all excited here at ABS because we're about to get ready to celebrate 25 years. And I can tell you the excitement's already happening. We had a meeting today that we discussed some of the things that we're going to want to do when we hit that 25-year mark. But folks, this is a milestone for basically any company. I've been here with ABS for just a little over 10 years, and I remember when we hit 20 years. Again, the milestone that was in and of itself. But 25 years in business is certainly one that you can count on, and obviously look for other businesses that have been around at least some length of time. But again, ABS started off with the intent to help folks just like yourself. We want to be that trusted company that other entrepreneurs have founded to put their trust in on helping them with their medical billing training program. Now, also, one of the other things that we have been able to develop over the years is that you're going to find out that we are truly the only company with a live training workshop. We do not do our training necessarily over the internet. Now, we understand that there are some folks that are just unable to make it to our live training workshop. And so we'll deal with those on a one-on-one basis. But our live training workshop that is actually taught by another licensee is the best way that we know how to make sure that you get kicked off on the right foot, because there are so many nuances to medical billing. And obviously, for a lot of you that are going to be starting, you're asking the question, well, gosh, how will a doctor know that they can trust me? Well, it goes like this, that once you start here with ABS, and then you go through our training, and you get through that training, and now you're certified as a certified medical revenue manager, you can certainly talk to the doctors and say, look, I am part of the nation's largest independent group of medical billers that have been around for over 24 years. I am associated with that group now, and I'm more than, I've got everything that I'll ever need to help you with that, and we can help support you in that. And again, that all starts with that live training. We also have a lifetime of support. Again, I'll chat just a little bit about that later on, but a lifetime of support. Folks, we went from a few years back to where it was a 2 to 3 year support mechanism, and then if you wanted more support, then you had to pay for that. But Patrick Phillips and the team here discussed that. Let's just move it to a lifetime support, because folks, as you're going to learn here, is that we are, I've already mentioned to you that we have no franchise fees or royalty fees, but we are also able to continue to keep supporting you. We are making pennies on the back end from our clearinghouse and from our billing platform that we get reimbursed for in order to keep supporting you. So folks, it truly is a win situation for everybody, for the doctor, what you're doing for the doctor, and what we're doing for you, and then what our platform is doing for ABS. So again, everybody's winning, and again, that frees you from any franchise fees or royalty fees. And then we are the only ones that have a 100% money back guarantee, and that is true. Again, that money back guarantee I'll talk with you about here towards the end, so just hang on as we get to the end. But again, we're talking about the history here, and we're talking about the history of American Business Systems. And this is Patrick and Linda, Adam and Sarah, their daughter. And yes, they've all worked together. And now Adam is the president of American Business Systems. So folks, we're in very good hands here at AB Systems. It's going to go on for many years from here on out. And so we're excited to, again, to share with you, because again, people like Patrick and Linda, who have established a strong business model for all of us to work from. And really everybody here that is not that doesn't have the last name of Phillips, we feel, and certainly they make us feel as part of their family. So you can know why we are excited about what we are able to deliver to you. And again, as you're doing your due diligence, you're going to want to look at companies that have had some longevity and they haven't changed management systems. So again, this is all one of the things that you need to be doing. Again, so as I mentioned to you earlier in the webinar, you're going to see this slide keep coming back up and again, all over again, because we want to stress for you, what are you doing as part of your due diligence? So another question that you're going to want to be asking yourself is, truly, where do they stand with the BBB? Now, folks, again, we all know the Better Business Bureau has been around for a very long time, and they are reputable. Now, again, what we're going to show you right here is that American Business System still, again, maintains an A+ rating. And so, folks, we encourage you to go out there to the Better Business Bureau of Fort Worth and check us out and see our A+ rating there. But I'll also want to show you something else on this page, because a lot of people will go to that page and kind of get hung up on one little thing that you might want to see there. And right above our name that you see there where it says American Business Systems LLC, right above that it says this business is not BBB accredited. Well, let's talk about what that means. It simply means this: if you'll go to their website, that is actually a link that you'll find on their site. And what that's going to direct you to is, what does it mean to be accredited? And it simply means this, is that we have joined the Better Business Bureau, and we may be participating in some of their activities as they go through that, but it will also share with you is that it's not necessary for any business to be associated and pay the fees or quote unquote be accredited. Because folks, I'm going to tell you, if you're in the public, the Better Business Bureau will report you whether you have joined them accreditedly or not. And so we find it more advantageous of not being a paid member of the Better Business Bureau and still have an A+ rating. That's our philosophy, folks. So we really appreciate it as you go out there and continue to keep doing your due diligence. Check us out there and see that we are still maintaining a Better Business Bureau A+ rating. All right, so again, we want to kind of take a look at what is your potential market for your services. And before I head out that way, I'm going to just verify that there's no questions. So I just checked on that. We're okay to keep going. Hopefully you're getting a lot out of this. And I just want to check my time here because I don't want to make sure that I go over time, but sometimes we do, and we'll just do what we can to try to get everything in during our hour session. All right, so we're going to take a look at the potential market. So folks, let me kind of go back to that real quickly. Let me see if I can go there. Okay, so let's talk about your potential market for your services. Now, let's bring somewhat of a clarification here. You may be asking, can I do medical billing and dental billing? And let's kind of just lay that out on the table. There is a significant difference between medical billing and dental billing. And the biggest thing is that there's two separate codes and there's two separate types of forms being used. But if some of you will recall, Patrick and I have on previous webinars, we've shown this big pie of business. Half of that is hospital billing. I think about 23 or 24% is hospital billing. There's another 22 to 24% that's doctor billing, or what we call the medical billing, professional billing. And then it starts breaking down from there. So it goes into home health care and pharmacies and some other things like that. And then it finally gets to dental. In that big pie that we've shown, that out of all of that billing, that 4% of that is dental. So let's kind of talk about the scalability of medical billing versus dental billing. And let's just think about it. Most Americans have health insurance of some kind, whether it's their commercial insurances or the federal insurances. That would be Medicare or Medicaid. But whenever it gets down to dental, not everybody has dental insurance. It's kind of like people having eye care insurance. And it's not as big on that scale as you think as it might be. Now, does it mean that dentists don't do billing? And they simply do billing. But again, the volume is just not there whenever it comes down to medical billing. So we're going to talk a little bit about that market. And so I'm going to go through some of these slides here so you can see this. So any doctors that have to do with allergies or immunology or pediatrics or critical care medicine, pain management doctors are huge right now. So are the urgent cares or the family practice or geriatrics. Let's keep going on. How about foot and ankle orthopedics? We've got, let's see, what is it? Some of the more pediatric there, oncology doctors. Again, we look at here of some clinical pathology or oral pathology. We've got pharmaceutical medicine that you can do that. Any of the pediatrics there that you see there, plastic surgeons, general preventive medicine. So really, folks, as you keep going through this, now you can see that we're starting to get into the surgery. So we're talking about surgeons that are there that you can actually do billing for. Now, they may be associated with a hospital, but it doesn't mean that they're being billed by the hospital. So again, there's so much there that you can understand. And here's another page there of just all different types of doctors that you can actually be doing your billing for. One of them there, as you can see in the left-hand column, the second one down, is a hospitalist. And a hospitalist is just a doctor that goes around and seeing patients for other doctors. And so we know some of our licensees that are actually doing billing for hospitalists. They don't have an office. They're just seeing patients in the hospital. So there's a wide market out there for what we know of, and what you're going to learn right now is what's called professional billing. That's the key term. And the other key term, if you're taking down some notes, is any doctor or any service that bills on a CMS 1500. CMS stands for the Center of Medicare and Medicaid Services. That's the universal form that's being used to do any medical billing, whether it's commercial billing or whether it's federal billing. So that is all there to be able to understand of what kind of billing mix you can do. So again, that's a wide net that you can go look at. And again, just keep doing your due diligence as you're looking at this. And again, keep going back to this whole part, are you doing your due diligence? So again, have you done any due diligence within your area? And we'll talk about whether you want to do some marketing in your particular area, or you want to go outside your territory and what you can do outside your territory. Again, we're trying to qualify you. Are you doing your due diligence? And part of that is what makes my company, product, or services unique. So let's talk about this real quickly. If you try to go out there and do medical billing just like everybody else, then you're going to fall into this big pool of medical billing companies that are just basically doing the same thing as all other medical billing companies that are out there. What we do, we have a completely different way of doing billing. As you can see here in these 4 quadrants here, you've got iClaim, EMRX, a clearinghouse, and a patient portal. This is what's making us unique. Not only do we have a patient portal, as you can see here on the left-hand side, that is totally integrated with the entire system, as you can see here, but we also have an EMR system, or what is known in the market as electronic medical records. This is where the doctor's taking their notes, which is completely, again, integrated directly into the iClaim system. And as you can see, inside the iClaim system is also a clearinghouse. Some of you may be scratching your heads right now. What in the world is a clearinghouse? Well, let me try to give it to you in a quick high-level part because of time right now. But just simply thinking as the clearinghouse is an in-between, a go-between between any billing system and those insurance companies that you see over to the right. It kind of has those big old tower buildings there. We're going to call those the insurance companies. But when you process a claim from any software, any web-based or server-based computer software to actually process a claim, you have to have a connection between those insurance companies and your software. Well, that's what's called a clearinghouse. And a clearinghouse will take those claims and scrub those claims in order to get those to the insurance companies. Well, clearly, folks, you can see that there may be a slight advantage here of having your own clearinghouse inside your system. And the advantage of this is this. is that we can take claims directly from our system directly to the insurance companies. There's no go-between here, as you can see there. There's nothing stopping a claim going from iClaim to the insurance companies. And this results in two major things. First of all, we get to have a much higher return on the claims, which means that we have less claims that are ever rejected at all. In matter of fact, our rejection rate is what's known in the industry is actually ours is less than 2%. Then the second advantage is this, since we're going directly and we have our claims going out there in a much cleaner format, we're actually getting our doctors paid within 7 to 10 days. Now, again, if you've never been in medical billing, you don't know much about what there is out there. The typical time for the doctor to get paid after they see their patient can be typically between 30 and 60 days. And sometimes it can be higher than that if there were some issues there of having to get that claim and resubmit that claim and then try to work all those details out. It could certainly be anywhere from 2 to 3, maybe even 4 months out before they actually get paid on seeing a patient, not hours. We're talking 7 to 10 days because we are processing claims in real time. So obviously you need to have something that's going to set you apart from any other medical billing company out there. And to us and to you, it shouldn't matter whether those companies have been out there for 5 years or 10 years or 20 plus years. It really doesn't matter because you have something so unique in the marketplace that I've literally had whenever I've helped some of our licensees help secure some of these doctors. They literally have told me, Eric, I've never seen any software that does exactly what your system does. That's the difference. So you need to have something unique out there. Obviously, there are some softwares out there that have a patient portal. They've got some out there that have an EMR system. But the uniqueness is what you're looking at here with iClaim. It's the only one out there with its own clearinghouse. There's that unique part of it. So we truly have a unique way of helping you get out there and go do the business. Also with the EMR system, the doctor has a much easier way of taking their notes, and they can actually draw on their iPads and keeping all of this all in the medical records here. They're able to do all their e-prescriptions from here, even for those that are in pain management that has what's called more of a controlled substance. Obviously, now we can be able to get that medicine out there, and the doctors can do that on the fly. They can, if there's an app there on their phone that they can actually be able to get those medicines while they're out and about. So it doesn't matter. So we can certainly show all that to you. The other unique system that we have involved in this, outside of just being the clearinghouse, is in between that patient portal and our EMR system, we have telemedicine there. And if you have been doing any of your due diligence out there and you've noticed that you may have run across a franchise out there that's just doing telemedicine, that's all you'll be able to do. In our system, it's already there, and it just looks just like, actually, this is a screenshot from our from our EMR system with the patient portal, and there's a direct connect there where they're talking. Obviously, the doctors and the patient can chat with one another in a window here, but there's real communication here, and it's all being done on the doctor side via the EMR system, and then the patient's looking at it from what you're looking at here. I think I got a question in here, so let me see if I can pull that question and see just what we have. It says, Marina's asking, do you have these slides available to share with doctors when we meet with them? You bet. That is part of what you're going to learn in that live training workshop. Not only, Marina, do we have this in a slide format, we even go an extra step further. We will actually get on a go-to meeting live between us here as your support. Now remember, ABS never markets to any of the doctors. We're actually doing this for you as your support. We go on live like with a go-to meeting. This one's a go-to webinar. And so what you're able to see here is that we've got this going live. And so we're actually talking with the doctors. So it's even better than just having a lot of slides. Jorge asked a very similar question right back to back here. It says, when we're starting off, do you help us with the first demos directly to the doctor? And that is correct. Not only do we do the first one, as you're going to see here, as part of your live support or your lifetime support, we'll do that with your first, your fifth, your 10th, your 20th, your 100th, it doesn't matter. We're here to help you and make sure that that all gets taken care of. So again, folks, hopefully, as I'm looking at my my time here, it looks like we got about 25 more minutes here to go. And as you're doing your due diligence, remember, we're talking about you qualifying yourself. Are you researching the business and seeing if they have an advisory board? And we here have a solid advisory board. Folks, we've got everybody from doctors to certified professional coders that are on our advisory board. And Dr. Vicki Radner not only is a doctor of 30 years, she was also a general surgeon. And some of you may have seen her in some of our previous webinars. I think we did one with her either last week or the week before last, I can't remember. But we have her on quite frequently. And Dr. Radner is not only a trusted partner with American Business Systems and on our advisory board, she actually becomes part of your advisory board, which means that, folks, if you'd like for her to have a letter go sent from her to a prospective doctor of yours, what better way can you have a peer-to-peer conversation between two doctors? Folks, that's part of your support here at AB Systems. Imagine that you were able to get with us here at support, contact us and say, hey, I need to get a letter sent from Dr. Radner to a prospective doctor of mine. And then that letter will actually go out for you on your behalf from Dr. Radner as an introduction. So then you follow that up with some of the other marketing pieces that I'll share with you here in just a moment. But again, you want to make sure that the business that you may be a part of is, do they have people outside of just their organization? And folks, we've been able to do that. And we've been able to do that very successfully here at American Business Systems. Again, qualifying yourself. You want to make sure that, again, that you keep doing your due diligence. And one of the things is you want to talk with current owners and successful current owners. I know a lot of you already are thinking in your mind, well, I want to talk about those owners who maybe not have gotten a doctor. And I get that. We understand that. And so, folks, we have a lot of folks that come through here, and sometimes they may wait a little bit. But what we see is anybody that's really engaged with us are those folks that are successful. Because, again, what did they do differently than anybody else? They've done what you're doing, hopefully, and doing the research for your particular business. And so, folks, the most folks that we can put you in contact with are the most successful people here at ABS. And, folks, it's not just this little hand group of people here. We've got literally people in every single state that we can put you in contact with. And, again, like I said, some that have been with us for a few short years, some that have been here for, let's say, 5 to 7 to 8 years. And there are some that have been with us over here 10 plus years. We'd love to put you in contact with any of those folks. And what you're going to find out is that some of these folks landed in with a group of doctors, and they end up with a certain specialty, maybe podiatry. Some may be pediatrics. Some may be oncologists. Some of them may be orthopedic surgeons. And so what happens here is not only these people are on the front end to help answer some of your questions, but once you are actually actively out there marketing to your doctors, you may run into a specialty that you might need help with. And again, contact support will kind of help you make sure that you navigate that particular specialty. That's what it means by being part of the nation's largest group of independent medical billers from coast to coast, because we've got folks, licensees that have been doing business with different specialties. And then once you've got that doctor, if you need help with a particular claim, because again, you may not know that as well as somebody else, folks, we're going to put you with a tenured licensee with that particular specialty. And again, helping you, coach you along the way to make sure that you still become successful, because it's just the old adage that if we can help you or if someone help you, then you in turn are going to have that reciprocity of wanting to help others also. So truly, this is we're all coming together. We're sometimes all learning together, and we want to make sure that everybody's learning together at the same time. So those are some of the advantages of talking with folks even before you become a licensee. So again, get with us and we'll get you those names. Again, are you doing your due diligence? And what you're going to want to know is about ongoing cost and fees. I've already mentioned to you that our cost here is $26.990. That's your investment here at American Business Systems. But you need to find out, are there going to be any ongoing cost? Let's talk about some ongoing cost. If you run into a piece of software that is a server-based, once you maybe purchase that particular piece of software, well, then you've got other ongoing costs that are going to happen with that. One is you're going to have to put together your own server-based in your home or in your business, and then you're going to have to maintain that, which means that you may have to have an IT person along with that. But then you go on, if there's any updates to the system or any upgrades to codes, there can be ongoing costs and ongoing fees with that as well. So with ours, because it's a web-based system, we have a zero ongoing cost and ongoing fees. As long as you are inside of that iClaim system, there are no particular ongoing fees that go along with that for updates or upgrades or anything else like that. You're not having to maintain a server. So folks, as you understand this, and again, we can even go a little bit deeper for you on that, because with ABS, there's no franchise fees, there's no royalty fees. But again, it doesn't mean that there's going to be no fees that you're going to have as you do your operations. Obviously, you're going to have your own business operations costs as you do the cost of doing business. Obviously, you'll have your phone and your internet and some marketing material if you want extra marketing material. But as you can see in just a moment, we're going to be giving you a lot of marketing material. But then also just the ongoing fees of just the day in and day out stuff with AB systems, there's not going to be any. Again, however, with the iClaim system, and again, to be totally transparent here, there is some monthly fees for the doctors to use the iClaim system. And again, these are nominal fees that, again, that the doctors are using all the time anyway. So if they're using any other a billing company out there, that company is charging them a fee to use their software. So again, we can get more involved in that a little bit later if you want to talk about that, but feel free to talk with us about that. But again, just ongoing updates and upgrade fees, there's nothing like that. AB Systems has no franchise fees whatsoever. So again, feel free to keep doing your due diligence with us, and we'll clarify anything there as we go on. Now, again, are you qualified on owning your own business in the healthcare industry? And again, here's another question you're going to be asking, and that is the marketing strategies for obtaining clients. Again, one of the things that you are joining us here with American Business Systems is the marketing strategies of what we have incurred and have perfected over the 24 years. So let's talk about some of those. One of the things that you're going to get is a personalized branded books for your business, and that is personalized books for your business. And we're talking about true books. We're not talking about an ebook here. We're talking about branded books for you, which is going to have your name on the cover and your contact information at the end of the forward to these books. Now, the interesting thing about this is we already have the forward printed there for you. So if you want to use that one that's already there, feel free to go ahead and keep using that one. However, if you'd like to find your own forward that you want to put to it, write your own forward to the book, get that to us. We make sure that it's going to be fitting what's the content of the book, but obviously you can make it yours as you want to. And that's a huge advantage between us on our marketing side. Now then, when you have those branded books, as you can see here at the bottom of this book, you'll see that it says forwarded by Susan Smith, CMRM. Now, obviously, it won't have Susan Smith's name in there. It'll have your first and last name there. And the CMRM stands for the Certified Medical Revenue Manager. Remember, again, that's the certification that you get when you come through our training workshop. Inside the book, again, that's printed right there for you to go through and see that, again, with all of your contact information right at the end of the forward. Not only do you have that, but once you come through training, you can see these little tabs that we've got laid out right there. Obviously, let's talk about who you're marketing to. You are marketing to the most busiest person in that office, and that is the doctor. So what we have learned is to shortcut that as quickly as possible. If you heard Dr. Vicki Radner on one of our webinars, she stated this, that if you go to any doctor's office and you hand a card and say, hey, I'm a new medical billing company in town, and even leave a brochure, the potential for that to get to the doctor is very, very small. However, if you're able to deliver a book, and these books are like this, books are not thrown away, especially when they're titled The New Thriving Medical Practice. These are strategically placed inside the book that helps the doctor shortcut to these areas. Because remember, they may see this on their desk and they'll go, where in the world did I get this book from? Well, remember, it's going to have your name on it with your contact information, but also he or she's going to take a few seconds and kind of flip through this and wonder, why are these tabs here? And something's going to hit them and go, I might need to talk to this person. We've had licensees do this, and that was all their own marketing that they've ever done. And 3 out of 3, at least one of our licensees that we know of, got 3 out of 3 doctors by just passing out these books and got those doctors signed up pretty quickly. But that's not all of the marketing material. The marketing material that you see here is loaded. We've got all of the handouts that you're going to need. There are some postcards that you see up in the left-hand corner. There's books here. For those that want to, you can, on the bottom right-hand corner. There are some trade show booths. If you'd like to go in and do a trade show, you have that available for you. And then we have all different types of marketing things that you're going to learn that we can't even display here on our screen here, because all that is gone over during the training workshop. So there's so much more that we wish we could show you again in our time that we have, and I got about 15 more minutes to get through a few more slides here. Folks, again, let me remind you, if you've got any questions, we've had a few questions that popped up there. And if there's anything that I'm missing, feel free just to shoot that question over to me. Folks, again, one of the things that we have here is that we're the only system that will provide a live demo for you. Again, this kind of goes back to the couple of questions that were asked. Do we help do these demos for you? And we do a demo live for every one of our licensees who has a doctor that they want this presented to. And it's us here at AB Systems. We're the ones that are actually doing that demo for you. We'll answer the questions to the doctor live. So imagine that we're not doing a webinar. Imagine that you are there with your doctor and I'm here on the GoToMeeting. Now, I may not be on video, but at least we're on this live transaction here between you and the doctor and us here at AB Systems. And what we're going to be able to do is work with you, with your doctor. You're going to introduce us as your support team, and then just turn it over to us. And then we'll start asking the questions. We'll answer the questions for the front office staff, the office manager, the doctors themselves. And folks, this is a great way, again, for you to continue to keep learning. So you always want to know how you want to continue your continuing education, and that is getting in front of doctors and letting us do some of these demos. We'd love to be able to do that for you. And again, we kind of do that during our live training workshop, so you'll kind of get a feel how that works. As we kind of start getting wrapped up here, I'm going to, again, try to go through as many of these as possible in the last few minutes that we have. But we want to talk about territories. As you're doing your due diligence, are you researching your business, and are there any restricted territories? Here with AB Systems, there are no territories here. You've got the entire United States. So whether you live in Texas or Florida and you want a doctor in California or Washington, or you're in Washington, you want a doctor in Kentucky, you can do that. So folks, there is no, if you want a doctor in Hawaii, for some of you, you can certainly do that, and Alaska. So there are no territory restrictions. And folks, I think some people always ask, are there any particular restrictions for the state of California? And there's not any restrictions still that we know of that would not allow you to do billing in California. Folks, and again, you don't need anything except to make sure that you've got a good, solid entity and you've got a product service like American Business System. So we also have some licensees that are in the state of California. So if you'd like to talk with them, again, we would love to put you into contact with those. Again, are you doing your own qualification, and are you doing your own due diligence? So let's now talk about your income potential. So let's talk about this, and I'll go into much more detail next week on our ROI, the return on your investment with just one doctor. But let's kind of just take a snapshot here, and this is something that you can do and multiply out yourself. So let's take one doctor. If one doctor is seeing at least 20 patients a day, and that's fairly regular, maybe a little bit more, but usually not any less than 20 patients a day. And each one of those patients' reimbursed amount is about $100. So that's going to equal about $2,000 a day for the doctor. So that's what the doctor is trying to collect on this. Now, let's move that. So if we kind of take this and break this down, so that's $2,000 a day. And if you're doing the billing for that doctor at the average of 6%, well, what your take home is, your average earnings per day is about $120 a day. Now, that takes you less than about 90 minutes a day to process about 20 claims. And we've averaged that out to about 90 minutes to 2 hours simply because it's more than just processing the claims, because you'll find out that processing the claims really doesn't take long, but it's the whole part, or the whole part of doing the revenue cycle management. Because remember, you're going to start getting money into the iClaim system, and as you do that, you're going to need to post those payments in the iClaim system. So again, let's kind of take this and look at it on an annual basis. So if you're making $120 a day, 5 times a week, that's $600 a week for 52 weeks, and that's $31,000 a year per doctor per year. So again, if you want to duplicate that, you want to make at least $60,000, well then you're going to find 2 doctors that are seeing about 20 patients a day. Now, again, that's the average. Again, we know that there are some doctors, specifically if they are a specialty, obviously is going to be a higher reimbursement than just $100. That can go up from there. But how can you find that out? Go to our website. Go under there where it says income potential, and look under there where it says medical billing income calculator. Go in there. You can put in one doctor seeing 20 patients at 6% of $100. This is what you're going to get, is $31,200 a year, or $2,600 a month. And remember, that's for less than 90 minutes of work a day. So if you want to duplicate that, put in some more doctors in there. Or if you want to average out 25 patients at $150 reimbursement, again, kind of playing with those numbers there, that will help you do some projections there. So we want you to take advantage of that. Again, those are just again, projections that there's guaranteed, if anything. Matter of fact, if there's any guarantee, it won't be that low. It'll be probably a little bit higher than that. So you can certainly do that as you look at the doctors and the amount of patients that they're seeing. And so there's all different types of variables there that will make that different. All right, so as we are kind of getting to the conclusion here, are you doing your due diligence? Because remember, you're trying to qualify yourself through all this. Are you talking to that potential business that you may be getting involved with? What about their support? Well, again, I've already mentioned something to you already, that we have lifetime support, and that is true lifetime support. Your support here at ABS never runs out. We are open 5 days a week. You can get us between 9 and 5 just about every day, and that's a direct call. Obviously, if we're working with somebody else, you may have to leave a message, but it may be 2 or 4 hours before we get back with you, but it's usually within that part of it. But if you need help immediately, you can always go to our website, which is your website, which is the licensee support site. And underneath there, you'll find basically most of all of your questions to help you get answered, whether it's anything to do with the marketing, or if you're working with sales reps. I know that we don't have time to actually go out to that particular website, but all the different services, or the marketing, or the training, or any of the tools that you need are all there. But again, we're a phone call or an email away for your support. And again, the biggest thing about it is that it's a lifetime of support, and you don't have to ever pay extra for your support there. All right, so let's talk about, as you keep doing your due diligence, a money-back guarantee. All right, so this is where it gets exciting, because we are the only business opportunity in the United States that we still know of that actually offers a 100% money-back guarantee. So let's talk about what that means. First of all, we want you to come and attend the work training workshop as part of your due diligence. Obviously, your investment needs to be made before you come to the training workshop, because there's no way to refund anything if you don't pay. But if you at least get those funds in and you attend one of our live training workshops, and folks, by the end of that training workshop, if you feel like this is not the business for you, then simply just ask any of the staff members there and just say, I'd like to arrange for my full refund of your licensing fee. And yes, that's 100% of your $26,990 will be refunded back to you. Why do we do that? Well, most of the time, the first time that we ever meet you is at training. There are some that do come and visit with us here at American Business Systems. We do get to meet with you at our corporate headquarters here in Fort Worth. Now, again, you still get the money back guarantee even if you do come visit with us. But what we want you to understand is that we know, Patrick and I and the rest of the team here, we know that we can only communicate with you as much as we can through phone calls, through doing the live demonstrations for you, to help provide you these webinars every single Wednesday. And we're trying to do all that we can to help you make the right decision for yourself. Obviously, some of you might need that extra part of it to say, okay, I'm going to take my chances, and I'm going to roll the dice. I'm going to come to that training workshop knowing that I can still get a refund at the end of it. That's why we want you to do that, and that's why the training is actually part of your due diligence, because we want to make that very clear.